I'm Tad Flaky,
I'm Lilibet Flaky.
and this is Pointless Global News. On today's show, the Mile High Club isn't just for passengers, the flight crews participate too.
Then we'll meet the rat whisperer of New York City.
Finally, playing on the phone while on the toilet is both extremely popular and extremely unhealthy. I'll get to that hot mess a little later, but first, they're doing the deed at 30,000 feet. While frequent flyers are sitting back and enjoying the ride, freaky wingmen are too. This according to an in-flight insider who claims captains and cabin crew members secretly have sex in the sky. Here's how pilots and flight attendants join the Mile High Club while they're on the clock, and you're in the passenger seats, began Sierra Mist. She's an experienced hostess, and she produced this jaw-dropping video. The NSFW know-it-all explained, so there's at least two pilots in the flight deck, and there has to be two people in the flight deck at all times during the flight. If a pilot is hungry or has to pee, he has to come out to the flight deck, but a flight attendant has to go in there to replace him. And that's how plans of initiation to join the Mile High Club are activated. The mid-air romps, which are not officially considered illegal offenses, have been deemed icky by flight attendants such as Suzanne Bucknam, who's caught numerous couples getting it on in filthy aircraft bathrooms and in their seats beneath blankets. Mist, however, well, she's not dismayed by the risque display. The Skyway siren even teased that she's enjoyed some coitus in the clouds during a shift or two. But for great sex on the fly, she says aviators and attendants must adhere to a strict set of rules. Number one, make sure you work with a crew that you can trust and also knows your plan to have sex. Number two, you pick a flight that you know has a route that is normally a smooth ride. Once you have those two things nailed down, the third one is super easy. Have one pilot come out and a flight attendant go in. And all the while, unsuspecting jet setters are cluelessly waiting for coffee service. Passengers have absolutely no idea what's going down in the flight deck because the plane is on autopilot. Surprisingly, her hot and heavy revelation didn't surprise travelers. The comments from travelers after watching this video are not at all surprising. One said, "This is why all these planes are crashing," referring, of course, to the unfortunate recent string of tragedies. Another said, "I wondered why the pilot is sweaty when he says goodbye to me getting off the plane." So it seems that the movie Airplane really wasn't all that far off the mark. Just had Lloyd Bridges' character, Steve McCroskey, sniffing glue in the Newark Airport control tower, and voila, life imitates art. Now here's Lilibet to report on her favorite subject, rats.
I do like a nice rat story. You know that, Todd.
I know you do.
New York City has always been at war with rats, from when they jumped from ship to shore in the 18th century to the city's anti-rat campaign today. Over many decades, the reviled brown rodent has burrowed deep into the Big Apple's collective psyche. They were even referenced in a recent episode of And Just Like That, where Carrie Bradshaw screams as rats scurry past in her backyard. Thankfully, there has emerged a lone hero who braves Gotham's vermin plague to educate the masses and reduce the fright factor. Suzanne Reisman, leader of the Garbage and Rats in New York City walking tour. Clad in a fuzzy faux rat ears like a bizarro mouseketeer, the varmint savant takes guests through some of the city's most rat-infested sites while spilling retch-worthy facts on the critter's habits, a la a sanitation history lesson meets an urban wild safari. Rats love to go up to the poop, she enthused to entranced rodent tourists during a recent tour as she discussed the delicacy of canine excrement. They'll kick through it, find the undigested kibble, she explained to the curious crowd. I mean, dog poop is disgusting, but anyway, I do not ever pass by dog poop anymore without thinking, oh, it's a rat snack. Since the tour opened in April, curious city visitors and locals alike have been clamoring to see the Big Apple's trash-loving mascot. There's been a lot of interest, Reisman told the Post, of the popular, frankly, skin-crawling experience, which costs $40 per person. I sold out 2 tours and filled the wait list during Jane's Walk, she said of a recent excursion coinciding with the annual festival of community led walking conversations. I wasn't sure that people would show up for a Sunday night tour in the rain, but they did. Rats are just so linked to New York City, both in reality and in our lore, said Reisman. They're sort of little monsters, also sort of cute. On the 2 hour four-way through Lower Manhattan, guests learned how the Norway rat, a misnomer as they hail from Asia, Reisman explained, hitched a ride here on Hessian ships in the late 1700s. They soon discovered a veritable island of garbage caused by non existent waste management policies that saw residents dump animal carcasses, feces, and more into streets and even into the East River. The rats get off the ship, they take a look around and think, jackpot, we've made it. Reisman told rap tour takers and other revulsed guests. They are just beyond super happy, and they are as much of a New Yorker, a successful immigrant from New Yorker, as any other group. From then on, rats and garbage would go hand in paw. Guests learned many scary factoids, like how rats have sex up to 20 times a day, hence why the scourge is so rampant, and visit the former site of Sportsman Hall on Water Street, where spectators would bet on ferocious fights of terrier versus rat, hosted by Irish gang leader Kit Burns in the 1800s. It's just incredibly fun to walk and talk about these stories, to share, to hear from other people what their experiences have been, gushed the guide, who left her 20-year career in nonprofit work to go ratting full time. Then, of course, there are the rats themselves. Lots and lots of rats. In fact, around 225,000 of the beasts are in the Big Apple, according to Reisman. When a dachshund-sized varmint scurried out of the bushes at one stop, guests oohed and ahed, as bird watchers might about a vibrant blue jay or a rare condor. We saw live rats. We saw a squash flat rat. We saw a guy throwing up in a gutter, Murray gushed of the sketchy scenes that unfolded in front of her. It was a very New York experience overall that my kids couldn't get to always see in the Massachusetts suburbs. Rats are having a moment, she declared. Well, Todd, we live in the suburbs, and our late neighbor, God rest his soul, let his dogs poop in his backyard without ever picking it up, and sure enough, Ricky Rat would run across our driveway into the feces smorgasbord.
And the nearby owls up in the trees,
Yes.
they had a feast. They loved coming down and grabbing the rats. That was their comfort food. They loved them.
And Todd would pass many a moment looking at our outdoor cam and listening to the little rat feet.
Time out. For the whole show, you've called me Todd.
Tad?
I'm Tad.
Todd? Oh, Todd.
I know you're tired.
I am.
But, when we go to New York
Yes.
sometime
Yes.
soon, rat walk? Yes, no?
Yes,
40
absolutely.
$40 a person.
I want to do rat walk, Tad.
Such a deal. Okay, finally. Yeah, you should flush your shitty phone scrolling down the toilet. A new study has revealed the total number of hours Americans spend using their phones on the toilet every year. And not surprisingly, it's very shocking. A team from QS Supplies, a bathroom supplies company, surveyed 500 Americans about their bathroom habits. According to the study, Americans spend 49 hours using their phone on the commode, just over 2 full days a year down the drain. And what are people doing on their phones while sitting on the porcelain bus, you ask? Well, they're scrolling on social media. That accounts for 66%. Watching videos, 40%. Responding to texts and DMs, 37%. Reading the news, 36%. Sending emails, 36%. Playing games, 29%. Shopping online, 14%. Completing work-related tasks, 9%. And talking on the phone, 8%. But, most disturbingly, a strange 2% of people said they answer video calls from the John. And to no one's surprise, Gen Z is the worst culprit of the dirty habit. The generation born between 1997 and 2012 admitted to spending an average of 54 hours doom scrolling while on the toilet. This habit has become more than just something for them to, say, pass the time. In fact, over 6 in 10 people, 61%, admit to staying on the toilet longer to finish something on their phone. Others, over in, say, 2 in 5, 42%, even lock themselves away in the crap stall just to get away from others who they can't stand on a break. And 51% of Americans, they just want to enjoy some alone time. Unfortunately, this habit is dirtier than most might expect, especially because only 1 in 4 clean their phones after using them in the bathroom. Baby boomers are the least likely ones to wipe down their phones after coming off the toilet. Doctors warn that using a dirty phone can cause you to develop colds, flu, and gastrointestinal problems and stomach illnesses. But even if you do clean your phone after you wash your hands, well, using your phone in the bathroom could still lead to some health issues. Experts have warned that sitting on the toilet with your phone could cause what they call tick-tock-tush. Hemorrhoids are swollen veins in the anus and rectum that can lead to pain, itching, and bleeding. Frequently, they form due to too much straining during a bowel movement. Just had to say that. Just kicking back on the can for too long while you're texting on social media can hurt you too. If you want to prevent them, one gastroenterologist insists you'll need to give your phone a rest when taking a dump. No ifs, ands, or uncomfortable buts about it. And that's going to be a wrap for another Pointless Global News. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Tad Flakey.
Also known as Todd Flakey.
And in this episode.
And I'm Lilibet Flakey.
Stay pointless, my friend.